this thing that you want to stop doing that you keep doing, but you don't want to be doing. But no matter how hard you try to stop doing it, you keep doing it. And you want me to tell you what to do about it. So I'll tell you. Stop doing it! Hi, welcome to Kick-Ass Switch, putting the K in Magic. I'm Joanna DeVoe, and you are watching a video about autumn. The fall is here. That's actually not what this video is about, but I'm filming it on autumn equinox, and I'm so happy. I'm sweating buckets because it still feels very much like summer here in Los Angeles, but I know that's about to change, and fall is my favorite time of year, so I cannot help but being super silly, off the charts giddy about everything today. I'm thinking sweaters and boots, even though I'm sweating buckets. But really, this is the last video in this series of videos about the law of attraction. The theme for September was the law of attraction. I know to many of your, how do you say that? I was gonna say to your dismay. I don't know how to say that in the plural. To yours dismays. To many of you's dismays, I don't know. Okay, moving on. Last video in the Law of Attraction series, and I've been working with the Law of Attraction forever, for many years, but I really started this new program, I don't know what to call it, obsession with the Law of Attraction kind of mid-summer. And that's why I changed the theme for September, because I was loving it. And I wasn't even sure what prompted me to go there, because I really was going to be talking about the occult last month, which I did, which was awesome. But I was behind the scenes really just working with a very stripped down, basic version of the law of attraction, and my number one priority was being happy. I wanted to feel happy, and that changed everything. I could give you some really profound examples from my personal life, but I'm not. I have saved that for my very best friends because they're personal, very personal, but I have had profound insights around this. I'm actually going to be making some changes in my business, which nobody knows. I'm telling you right now. This is the first anyone's hearing about it. I'll tell you more about that in October because that's not what this video is about either. But I just want to say that in making just feeling good, being happy, making that my number one priority, a lot of other stuff just fell away. Stuff I thought I cared about for a really long time. I just stopped caring about it. And that was weird and extremely liberating. And I've been doing this for years. Before Danielle LaPorte came out with her core desired feelings, I was working with that concept, but she gave it a great name, and I know so many of you are fans of Danielle LaPorte, so let's just call them core desired feelings. I've been working with words most of this year. I started out with 4 different words, but they moved into ease, effortless, flow, words like that, joy. And I think because the original words I chose, energized, inspired, free, and love, those are words I think that really define me. But I was desiring something else. Clarity was another one that I desired. I desired clarity. I desired ease. I desired flow, and maybe that's why I kind of found my way back around to the law of attraction, because in doing this, I found ease and flow and joy and clarity on a hippy dippy, yippy skippy, fluffy bunny, I don't even care if that bugs you kind of level, because who doesn't want to feel good? I want to feel good. So I'm a little evangelical about it and kind of sad to see the theme ending, but I think we've talked enough about it. But in the last episode of Hippie Witch, I was talking about instant magic versus like long-term law of attraction, something that takes time to achieve. And that got me thinking about this idea of momentum and how momentum can work in your favor or it can work against you. But when you learn how to work with the law of attraction, Abraham Hicks, I'm so sorry for mentioning that name again, but I always give credit where credit is due. Abraham Hicks talks a lot about momentum and has some really interesting things to say about that, which I happen to agree with. And really, so much of your power starts to be felt by you and other people when you get into a place of momentum. And also when you get a lot of momentum on an emotion, that's when it starts to get really magnetic and attractive. So like I said, that can be a good thing, that can be a bad thing. If you have a lot of momentum on anger, you can get to a place where not only you're just drawing other angry people to you or situations to be angry about, but to where you become like angry guy or angry girl, or that like becomes part of your identity. Other people probably see you like that more than you even see yourself, but you can get so much momentum going on that it's hard to pivot out of it and just stop. Just stop it. Just stop being angry. It's like very hard to stop being angry. So that's why, I'm a big fan of like ease and transition and incremental change and things like that. Because imagine you're driving a car and it's like the angry car. If you are going 80 miles an hour down the freeway in your angry car and you try to slam on your brakes all of a sudden, you're going to send yourself or your passengers through the windshield. Or you're going to spin out. If you try to just turn the wheel and like go in a different direction, same thing. You're going to flip your car. You're going to spin out. You're going to have an accident. And our emotions are very much like this as well. So what you want to do if you're driving down the freeway 80 miles an hour in your angry car is just let up on the gas. Just let up on the gas. Slow it down. And if you really want to come to a full stop in the angry car and maybe get into another car, the car of happiness, slowly come to a stop. We all know how to drive cars. I'm assuming most of us know how to drive cars. So I think that's a really awesome metaphor for the momentum that we get going on our emotions. And magic is like that. Law of attraction is like that. And I talked so much about that on Hippie Witch on the last episode. I was talking about, the time. People will often begrudge how much time it takes to do something. For me, it was writing a 5-book novel series. I have book 1 done. There's 4 more books to do. I have to find an agent. I have to find a publicist. It's this whole process, or a publisher. And for you, it might be finding a husband or a wife, a soulmate, someone to spend the rest of your life with. Or it could be going to school to be a doctor or a lawyer. And I know a lot of people just want to like skip that process, but that is not to your benefit, because there is momentum that builds that not only helps you attract that partner or that career or whatever that dream is to you, you get more into energetic alignment with it over time, but it also gives you the option to slow down and turn around, because before you're going too fast. And I know a lot of people, they want to get married, they'll get into a relationship with someone and they get momentum going on that and they invest all this time. A lot of times people get married for the wrong reason, even though something in them is saying this isn't right. It's like they have so much momentum going, they don't want to disappoint their families. Especially if the wedding is already booked, even though inside there's that voice in the back of their head is like, this is not right, don't do it. They do it anyway, because there's just so much momentum. Whereas if you notice momentum building on something like that in the early phases, you can choose again. So that's another reason why long-term manifestation is beneficial, because you're gradually building momentum on it. And your magic can have an incremental effect, as well as the practical steps that you're taking to get yourself there. Same as if you're going to college, your first year, it's a lot easier to change your major than it is when you're 4 years in and about to graduate. So that momentum gives you options, and it keeps you free and loose, and it helps you if you're aware. This is where, so many people say, know thyself. Know thyself, witch. It's such a common thing to say in the spiritual community, in the witchy community, know thyself. And that is something that comes in handy with all kinds of different magic, and with momentum, and with getting into a place of momentum, and the changes that I wanted to make in my business that I will tell you about later. I noticed myself getting into momentum with something that it was going to keep me locked in for at least another year, and I just had an icky feeling growing, and I kept feeling like, I told people about this. People are expecting me to do this. They're acting excited about it, and none of the reasons were anymore. In the beginning, it was a joyful, happy idea, but as I got momentum on it, the reasons for doing it started being about what other people would think and how other people would feel, and I have to follow through and blah, 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 blah. None of it was joyful. None of it was an ease and flow and grace. It became like, wow, and I just locked myself into a whole another year. So I took my own advice. I was like, hey, I have early momentum on this. It's not too late to turn the car around and go in a totally different direction. Cars are awesome metaphors for life, I've decided. A car metaphor that Abraham Hicks uses is if you get a car on top of a hill and you ease the car up. If you're outside of the car and the car starts to go over the hill, if somebody bumps it, or you just somebody pushes it forward a little bit before it goes over the hill, you can easily just stop it by standing in front of it. But if the car actually gets pushed down the hill, and it's a very steep hill, and you're standing at the bottom of that hill, and it's gaining momentum as it's going down, it is going to run you over. So that's a really extreme but clear idea of what momentum can do for you, for better or for worse. And I love the idea that you have the power to choose your path, and you have the power to create that kind of momentum on purpose. If you're very, very clear and you know what you want, you can shove that car down the hill and be like, yeah, woo, all the way to the bottom of the hill. But if you give it a little nudge and you start having second thoughts, it's not too late to get in front of the car and be like, whoa, sorry, I'm sweating. Hopefully you can't see that. I have momentum on this video, and I'm just gonna stop right now. How about that? I'm going out of town for my birthday, so there won't be an episode of Hippie Witch next week. Maybe I'll do a video. I'm not sure, because I don't get back into town until Wednesday. So it'll depend on how late I get back into town, but I'm going on a birthday trip, and I'm very excited about it, and I'm going to follow my bliss. I'm going to stay in the vortex. I'm going to stay in the flow. I personally am going to keep this idea of the law of attraction going in my own life. I think this is just a way of life for me. This works for me. I want to know what you think. Has this whole theme this month been a total turnoff for you? Have you had any insights? Have you learned anything? Please let me know in the comment section down below, or on Facebook, or shoot me an email. I don't care. Send a carrier pigeon. And until we meet again, happy fall. Much love.